All right, we've been working for this for months now. Onward we go.
You seem more excitable than usual. I would give you a sip of tea to settle you, but you drank it all at the inn.
Sorry.
Let's just proceed.
And so the adventurers bravely set forward and found the chest laden gold with deep oak wood, a lock laid upon it, seemingly unopenable with the use of magic or force.
I have the key from the mountains of Bragron. I attempt to use it to unlock the chest.
I am impressed, adventurer. You slid the key into the lock with ease and opened the treasure you worked so hard to claim. You fought orcs and rogues, curses and illness, and all grew and changed the world, all for this.
What's inside?
The new UCA D&D club.
Not what I expected, but not bad.
Well, we got this far. Let's sign up.
Go to uca.school/D&D to find out more, adventurers. We can't wait to see you there.
Welcome back to another episode of UCA News. I'm your host, Delilah.
And I am your host, Yessie. We have a fun episode for you today, but let's get these announcements out of the way first.
Agreed. First, we want to mention that we are in the middle of CBA number 5. This means that you should be reaching out and meeting with your teachers this week.
This is a reminder for all our students in grades K through 6. This Friday is our roller skating field trip. There are still spots open at St. George and Ogden locations. Have your learning coaches check their windmill for more info.
Sounds like an awesome event. I hope you all have a great time.
Mark your calendars. In a couple of weeks, it's President's Day on February 20th, which means no school that day.
No school sounds nice, but right now, let's send it to College Corner with Arub.
Greetings and welcome to College Corner. I'm Arub, your host. We're super happy to have you all here today. As a junior myself, I've been thinking a lot about what to do after high school concerning colleges and careers. Figuring out what to do after high school can be stressful and confusing, especially when it comes to deciding what college to go to. But fear not, because in this segment, you are going to join me on a trip around the colleges Utah has to offer. And maybe you'll even find your perfect match. In this segment, we will be covering the history, campus life, programs, and degrees of a very special two-year college, Salt Lake Community College, also known as SLIC, or SLCC. It is the largest two-year community college in the state, with many campuses found all over Salt Lake County. Here are some campuses: Taylorsville, Jordan, South City, Miller, West Valley City, Harriman, and West Point Center. Salt Lake Community College's mascot is the Bruin Bear, and the students are called Bruins. The average class size is 20 students, and they have the most diverse student body in the state. This year will also mark 75 years since SLCC was established in 1948. Career and technical education is offered at Salt Lake Community College. Some examples of these programs include apprenticeships in construction and architecture, courses in manufacturing, degrees for law, public safety, corrections and security, and certificates in hospitality and tourism. Different campuses focus on different CTEs. Salt Lake Community Colleges focuses on associate degrees and on providing the best for the local community. If SLIC sounds like something you'd be interested in, UCA gives you the opportunity by taking concurrent enrollment classes. Concurrent classes are a great way to get some college credits completed even before you get your high school diploma. It's like a head start. SLIC offers concurrent enrollment courses for many high schools across the state. It's a really cool program that you should definitely check out. That was a lot of information, but this is just the start of our college journey. I hope you learned as much as I did about SLIC, and we hope to see you next time. Thank you.
Yezi.
Oh, sorry. I was just checking our CLCC website. That's some great information now that I'm closer to graduation. Next up, we have our fact of the week.
Fact of the week. Da-da-da.
Did you know the youngest country in the world is South Sudan?
Amazing fact. But let me tell you another fact. This week is National School Counselor Week. We wanted to learn more about our school counselors.
We learned that our counselors and advisors work closely together, so we decided to celebrate them all. let's check in with Mika, Siani, Corbin, Conrad, and Khalil for some awesome interviews.
Okay, so this interview is going to be a part of National School Counselors Week.
What does being a school counselor consist of, and what does a normal day look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. So being a school counselor means that we're helping make sure that students are in the right classes based on their grade level. Once you get to high school, we want to make sure that you have the right classes for graduation, and that you're passing all of your classes. So we spend a good part of our day, with scheduling and meeting with students, working with students who've maybe failed classes so that we can get them back on track. We also do live lessons where we talk about like different topics such as like anxiety or being kind to others, or lots of different things that help students. And then we also focus on college and career readiness. So even though you're in the younger grades, you might not think that applies, but it never hurts to kind of, think about what you want to do past high school. Because even some of our seniors this year are still like, I don't know what I want to do. So we have lots of live lessons that both here at UCA and through Connections Academy that help students in each of those areas.
How does being at UCA help your goals as a school counselor or advisor?
Great question as well. Well, it helps me by knowing that I'm here for my students. I show up for them, and I'm always want to make sure that they know that I'm their advocate, and that I want to build rapport with them, and I want to support them in any way, being in different aspects in their life, personal and educational goals, just like Mrs. Hansen mentioned, making sure that all of our students are being successful. They're also going to graduate, and also support them for their further education.
What is one of your greatest career achievements as a school counselor? It doesn't have to be just here at UCA.
That's a great question. I think my biggest achievements are really, again, just around making students feel like they can be successful in school, especially students that might have come to UCA after having a bad experience at a different school, or just never thought school was for them, and seeing them really thrive and grow here at UCA. Those are probably my biggest achievements.
In what way would you assist or help students who aren't meeting their goals?
Yeah, that's a great question, because we have some students who are just right on track, passing everything, doing what they're supposed to, but then those that maybe have something that comes up, they hit a subject that's really hard for them, and they didn't do well in a class. So we're working with them and their families to come to live lessons, to do better the next semester, to make up credits. We've got a credit recovery system where students can make up classes that they didn't pass. But we're also, talking to students through phone calls and in and out and live lessons, just to kind of help them reach their goals.
Mrs. Venegas, what is your favorite part of being a school counselor and why?
All right, great question. So I've been working as a school counselor for a brick and mortar school, also in a virtual environment. And I really love the virtual environment because I feel that I am able to get to know my students one-on-one, believe it or not. I feel like I am able to build more rapport with them because it gives me the opportunity to, give them a call or chit chat with them and get to know them more. So that is my favorite part in being a school counselor. And again, making sure that, all of my students are being successful.
If you wrote a book about your career so far, what would you title it?
I've been trying to think about that. If I were to write a book, what would I want students to know? And I think I would title it Success, because you can have success in any aspect of life, whether at school or at home or in your personal life. And success looks different for different people. It doesn't mean that you get straight A's. It doesn't mean that you're the best at sports or have the most friends. It means different things to different people. And you can have success in small ways, even just waking up and making your bed each day. That's successful. So I just want everyone to know that they can be successful and have happiness in their life.
I thought about it. I just could not come up with something as Mrs. Hanson as creative. But I thought that I would like to share my own life story as a school counselor. So I think I would title it "My Life as a School Counselor." Although it sounds a little bit boring, I would just love to tell my story throughout the years as being a school counselor and how I supported my students and the great achievements that my students did in succeeding.
That's a great question. So I'm a big fan of like cartoons and Dr. Seuss. So the first thing that pops into my mind is that book, Oh, the Places You Will Go. So for me, I think it would be more like All the People You Will Meet, especially being an advisory teacher. I really get to meet a lot of students. And I've been a teacher for about 20 years now, from like all over the country. And I just get a chance to meet a lot of really, really wonderful people.
Surprise, we have a bonus fact of the week. Roll the music.
Fact of the week. Ba-da-da.
Did you know that UCA has the best counselors and advisors in the world? Now, on to quote of the week.
Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. Audrey Hepburn.
Now who's up for a mystery?
Remember, each week we'll be revealing more of the image. I have a feeling someone might get it right this week.
Welcome to Mystery Image. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is Mystery Image? Well, each week we will take an image and zoom it in so you can barely see what it is. And then you will submit your guesses for what the image is. And the person who guesses it will be featured on the next episode of UCA News.
How mysterious. I wonder who will guess the image. How fun. And this Friday, our students in grades K through 6 have their own roller skating field trip. We will have UCA News reporters at some of the locations. Keep an eye out for them.
That is all the time we have for this week. This episode was amazing, and we hope to see you at the next episode.
See you next time, because we're UCA.